Hi there, welcome to the channel, Salesforce Assembly. My name is Jeremy and I'm a 10-time certified Salesforce solution architect. In this video, I'll be showing you how to enable and set up Salesforce knowledge. I'll be showing you how to go through the setup wizard, important data model changes that you might need to make for your implementation, the record types and page layouts to show the correct information for different types of knowledge articles. I'll be showing where you can control the logic for recommended articles. We'll also be showing how you can expose the knowledge articles on case pages. And finally, we'll be covering how to publish articles and how to do versioning of articles. Go ahead and go up to setup and go to service setup. The next thing here is under this recommended setup, you're going to hit view all and you're going to search for knowledge. So click knowledge setup. Here you're going to be walked through the setup process through this wizard. Some things we'll want to set up now and some things we'll want to set up later. We'll go ahead and hit start to get this process started. The first thing here is you're going to need to assign licenses to the users that are going to be using knowledge. So go ahead and select the users that should get these permissions and then hit next. You can go ahead and skip data categories right now. Skipping this won't cause any issues and we'll circle back to this later. Go ahead and just hit next and finish. What we just did there was set up knowledge. Now we need to do some things to make this actually usable. And this is where this architectural piece comes in. First things first, let's go ahead and go to the object manager and check this new object out. Go ahead and check out knowledge. You can see it is a custom object and this is the API name. Go ahead and jump into fields and relationships. Something that's really important is making sure that your text areas can support the size of the answers that you can provide. Now, of course, there are text limits in Salesforce fields. One thing that I do recommend is immediately after configuring this, going into these longer fields and pushing the character limit to the max of what Salesforce can do. Let's go ahead and do that. So let's hop into answer. Let's edit. And we're going to edit the length. And we're going to go ahead and just take this maximum and put that up there. And go ahead and save. Now we've increased the length of this field. And let's repeat that for other fields that could have very long responses or answers in them. Question is one of those as well. So let's go down here, find question. Here it is. And let's increase the length on this one too. You can see here we have question and we have answer as these very long fields. And these make sense. You've got rich text area, so that allows you to put in images, to stylize text. Maybe you don't want your knowledge to only be frequently asked questions where you follow the question and answer approach. You'll want to also look under record types and see with the default implementation, FAQ is a record type. Now it's typical that there are combinations of knowledge articles where you'd want to have different record types. So you can have FAQs and you can maybe have a how-to. Let's go ahead and set that up. What I recommend is first creating the field that's going to drive that. We don't want to have a question field when we're only doing a how-to. Let's go ahead and just create this new one. This is going to be a text area rich. Like I mentioned before, this allows users to enter formatted text, images, links, And we've got 131,000 characters. Let's go ahead and make that length the max length. Let's give this the name of details. This is the details for an article. We'll hit next. We'll just leave this default for now. We do have these page layouts. We've got knowledge layout and we've got lightning knowledge. This is classic and this is lightning. So now we've got another field that we can use for our how-tos. Let's go ahead and create a record type and have it be how-to. We can go ahead and clone it from the existing record type master. We'll call this how-to. You can name this whatever makes sense for your org. Let's make this active and we'll make this available for everyone. The page layout that we want to assign to it, we'll want a different one for frequently asked questions and how-tos. Let's go ahead and just assign knowledge right now, and we will fix that later. Let's go ahead and change that page layout. Go ahead and go under page layouts, and we're going to do a new one. This is knowledge layout. This is lightning knowledge FAQ layout. This is what we're wanting for FAQs, and we'll do a net new one for our how-to knowledge articles. Go ahead and hit new. Let's go ahead and copy the lightning knowledge FAQ layout, and we will call this lightning knowledge how-to layout. So here you can see what the default page layout is. You can see we have question and answer here. We have the title, the URL, the details, which has been added. This was a new field that we added. Let's go ahead and drop off this question and answer. I'll go ahead and remove this section. We'll leave these properties here. I'll go ahead and save. Go back to record types, jump up to page layout assignment. And we're going to edit the assignments for this new record type. So select this. If you shift click, you can grab all of them. And we're going to use this new one called Lightning Knowledge How-To Layout. Go ahead and save. Now that we've assigned this page layout to the record type, let's go ahead and see what this looks like if we go into knowledge. So go ahead into the app launcher and search knowledge. Go ahead and do a new knowledge article. You can see these are the two record types that we have. FAQ already existed and how-to was what we created. You can see we did not have a description here, and that's why that is absent. So be sure to add descriptions so everybody's helped out and knows why they should go ahead and use this record type. Go ahead and select how-to and hit next. So you can see here we've got the title, we've got the URL name, we've got the details. Go ahead and click edit. And here you can put in all the information that you need to for your articles. The check boxes down here, these four, are very important because they drive the security or the visibility of this knowledge article. The first one is checked by default because the article should be visible inside the internal app. The second option is visible to customer. This is in regards to the customer experience or Salesforce portals. This is for an authenticated customer portal user. The third option is for authenticated partner users of Salesforce portals or Salesforce experiences. This last one here, visible in public knowledge base, A public knowledge base is something that you can show to portal users who are not authenticated. So this would be useful in the case of exposing an FAQ to everybody who has access to the internet. Again, they do not have to be authenticated. This drives the visibility of your records. This is very important. As you recall, we changed the page layout. We removed the question and answer. We replaced it with details. You'll want to make sure that the page layout is set up however you need to for your org. So you can fill this out and hit save and you'll have a knowledge article. So let's go ahead and do that. Title, how to create knowledge article. URL name automatically populates. I can bold text here and insert images. You can embed links. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. You can align your text, sizes, fonts. A lot of options here. I'm going to go ahead and save this knowledge article. One thing that would be useful here is to show the record type of this knowledge article. Probably makes sense to have it be up here. That way users are aware, oh, this is a how-to knowledge article rather than a frequently asked questions. So once you've created a knowledge article, what is very important is to hit publish. And you can go ahead and hit publish. And this will publish it right now, or you can schedule it for some time in the future. I'm going to go ahead and just publish this right now. So now we've set up Salesforce Knowledge. We've got our first article written, and we've also done the data structure changes to be able to store the information that is needed for our knowledge articles. We've talked about the UI so we can manipulate these things. Maybe it doesn't make sense for some users to see these visibility fields. Maybe we'd want to drop those off so that way they don't have the ability to make these changes. We'll also want to make sure that field level security is set correctly on profiles for these fields. Now that we have the core of knowledge set up, we'll also want to look into data categories. Go ahead and go into setup, service setup. Under the quick find, we're going to look for data categories. Go ahead and go under data category setup. Here you'll set up the data categories for your knowledge. What are data categories? This is how your data or your knowledge articles are grouped up. You have category groups, and within the category groups, you have different categories. This here is very important to set up. I would recommend it for any implementation because it serves as a very powerful way to group your articles as well as provide security. You want to make sure that you set this up right the first time. And there's a lot of nuance to this. What I do recommend is that you go under Salesforce's help article. Working with data categories, this is very important to review. There are some limitations such as you can only have 5 category groups with 3 active at a time. So with that in mind, that will drive the taxonomy or the hierarchy of data you have for your knowledge articles. I encourage you to go through this and make sure that you plan out all of your knowledge article structure and make sure that your structure can work with the limitations and the requirements of Salesforce knowledge. Additionally, there is this article by Salesforce, which is great. The best practices, again, they're used for 2 main purposes. One is for organizing and the other is for securing your knowledge articles. Let's go to knowledge settings under the quick find. Here you've got a lot of different options with knowledge. I'll be covering the most important ones here. Let's go ahead and hit edit. We're going to go ahead and jump down here to Case fields used to find suggested articles. One thing that's really awesome about Salesforce Knowledge is that it recommends certain articles based off of the values in certain fields. For example, if you have a case with the subject how to enable Salesforce Knowledge, then Salesforce would recommend that knowledge article called how to enable Salesforce Knowledge. And the way that Salesforce knows to recommend those articles is based off the fields that you feed it. Whatever fields that you have, it could be standard fields or custom fields, you can use these as the selected case fields that drive the suggested articles. So maybe it would make sense to have a field like potential liability where you could show how your case management team deals with frustrated customers. Additionally, you can have up to 5 fields. You'll notice here we don't have the details, question, or answer because we cannot use the rich long text fields in this. You can use text fields, you can use email, you can use phone, you can use most, but the longer fields you typically can't use. So when you go ahead and move those over, like I said, you can have up to 5. And I'll go ahead and save my changes. You can see here that the 5 that I specified will drive the suggested articles that knowledge gives us. Now that we have knowledge articles being recommended on key case information, let's go ahead and make this usable for our users. And the way you do so is by adding the Lightning component to the Lightning page. Let's go ahead and go to the app launcher, and we're going to go to cases. Let's go ahead and view all open cases just to get into any random case. And we're going to go ahead and edit this Lightning page. To do so, go up to the cog and click Edit Page. Under Components, look for Knowledge. Let's go ahead and drag that over here. Let's put it above Details for now. Let's save. Activate it. And let's assign it as the org default. We'll do desktop for now and hit save. Now that we've got that all saved, go ahead and hit back. And you can see we have knowledge on this right side. One thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is scroll down to the subject. I'm going to edit this subject line and I'm going to say how to enable knowledge. As I was talking about before, you can see how to create knowledge articles is a suggested article. Now you can see how powerful this is and how to set it up. If I hover over this, you can see the details of it. So you don't even have to leave the case. This is very powerful. You can see all the information that has been provided. You can mark if this was helpful or if it wasn't helpful. You can also do reporting on these metrics to improve the knowledge articles that are written. Let's go ahead and give this a thumbs up. The last thing here that we'll cover is knowledge article versioning. Let's go ahead and jump into this article and edit as draft. This is letting us know that this published version will still be available while we work on this draft. So let's go ahead and edit as a draft. Let's go ahead and change this and say version 2 and save this. You can look under version here and see there's version 1 and there's this draft, which is what we're looking at right now, which is this one that we've called version 2. Let's go ahead and publish this version by clicking publish. We can set this as the new version and hit publish. We can see this is version 2. This one is published, and this is the version that we are looking at. If you want to restore a previous version, Go ahead and jump into whatever version. You can see that the publication status is archived, and we want to bring back this version. So go ahead and click restore. Once you restore previous version, it will create a draft, and that draft still needs to be published. So go ahead and select restore. You can see here, this is a draft. This has not been published yet. You can see this is version 0. And we can go ahead and publish this one, and it will be the publicly available knowledge article. So that's how you publish articles, and that's how you manage versioning, which is really powerful. You can add approval processes before they get published. This concludes our tutorial on how to enable Salesforce knowledge, as well as how to set it up correctly. If this was helpful, please leave a like. If you have any questions, please leave a comment, and we'll do our best to get back to you. And have a great day.